Hey guys, Sean Lentz here from Appalachian DIY, and today I'm going to show you guys how to install in-slab radiant floor heat. So what we're going to be doing today is we have an area of 600 square feet that we're going to be laying PEX into. We're going to be running our PEX 12 inches on center. So online there's all sorts of PEX calculators for radiant floor heat. We punched our numbers in for 12 inches on center, 600 square feet. We're going to be running 660 feet of PEX tubing. That does not include our rises for where our manifold is going to be, so make sure you calculate that in. We bought a 1,000-foot roll, so we're going to be using that, and we're going to be laying it out. We have our grid mesh down already, so we're going to use that to help us lay it down. So the next step that we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting in our PEX. We're going to be running that in loops. We have 600 total linear feet of PEX to be putting down. So we're going to split that up into 200-foot sections, 3 sections each. So we'll go ahead and lay that down. We're going to start back here in our back corner. That's where our manifold is going to be. And then just start coming down the back side and then start doing our loops up through here. Alright guys, so we just got done with our first leg that was 200 feet. So you can see that here in the background. This is what we got. So we started our second leg. Again, make sure you guys are putting at least 4 to 5 feet at your beginning. That way you can tie in your manifold to that and then start your second leg. It's going pretty good. It's going really slow. We're tying with just wire ties. Excuse me, not wire ties, but just wire pieces. So it's taking a little bit, but we're getting there. One main thing to note is that when you're unraveling your coils, do not let your coil sit and just pull it off the pile like that. It's going to pigtail. It's a super huge pain in the butt. Don't do that. Unroll your roll as you go. Just roll it one way to the next section, tie down, roll it back. Don't just let it sit there and pull off of it. It's going to be a huge pain in the butt. So that's what we got going on now. We are starting our second leg, so we're just going to keep going with that. So the general rule of thumb for the lengths of PEX for each section should not be greater than 300 linear feet. The reason for that is because once the water goes through 300 feet and then finally gets back to the return, it actually cools off too much if you have it any greater than that. You still want water coming back to your boiler to actually have some warmth to it. That's going to help out with your energy consumption and reheating that water. Since we broke this down into 3 legs and only 200 feet, it's going to help us be really efficient with our energy costs, because the water coming back from 200 feet is going to be a lot warmer than coming back from 300 feet. So that's going to help us out a lot. Alright guys, we finished up with our PEX. We got everything in. We got it routed, tied down really good. We had our inspection this morning, which we passed with flying colors. We're good there. For the inspection on radiant floor heat, they want you to hold 60 psi, and we did that no problem at all. So what we are going to do now, I'll show you guys around here a little bit of how we laid our PEX out. So right here is where we have our manifold going to be on our wall. Right now we just have, for the test, what we did is we took a plastic manifold right here, and we just hooked up our supply sides on here. We have our test gauge on here with 3/4 inch PEX here. So we pressurized our supply side, and then we just capped off on our returns. So we just have a little cap on the end here, crimped on to plug it. That just allowed us to do our pressure test. So we'll just kind of put this stuff up out of the way before we pour. So that's the way this looks. We have 1-inch electrical conduit, 90-degree elbows. That's just going to help our transition, curving it up, keeping it nice and neat. We're just going to tighten those up a little bit. We don't have them set where we want them to be yet, and then we just have a little board here in the back just holding them in place for when we pour. So I'll show you guys real quick here with the how we routed this. So right here, this is a supply. We went down to the end and we just zigzagged back and forth. Right here we came back, this is a return. This right here is a supply, so we just jumped over. So supply, we zigzagged back and forth, and then right here is that return. And then for our last loop, we just jumped down again. Supply all the way over here, zigzagged back and forth, went around our plumbing, and then just returned here around to the corner to get back. One thing to note, guys, when you're running this stuff in slab and you have a toilet, which is right here, stay away from your wax ring about 1 foot because it'll melt it if not, or it'll get it at least really super soft. So don't want to do that. So make sure that you guys stay away from it. Real quick, we have our clean out here. We have our main trunk line going right out into here. So we have our clean out, we have a vent, toilet, shower, sink, main water line coming in, and electrical coming in. Real quick about that, guys. You can see here where our city vents were coming out. Right here, we did have our water coming out through there and also our electric. They didn't like that at all. So we are going to have to stay 18 inches away from each utility, have them spaced out. We didn't have time for that. So what we're going to do is the inspector had allowed us to just dig this 3 feet out. We have our electric 3 feet out and we terminated. And what we're going to be doing later is just digging our trenches for this stuff, and then I'll inspect that later because we didn't have the time to get an excavator in here, dig these trenches back in, and get that all straightened out. Okay, so that's pretty much it, guys, for the PEX. We have concrete coming tomorrow, so we were really crunched. We were out here doing this, me and my wife, probably till 2 in the morning, just getting this stuff wired, tied down, and everything like that. So big shout out to her. I definitely couldn't do this project without her. She's a super big help and a big trooper for putting up with all the stuff that we have going on with this garage right now and just the timelines that we got going on. So we got everything together and we're ready for pouring tomorrow. You guys will see that in the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and head over to Appalachian DIY for more videos. Thanks again, guys, and I hope to see you next time.